Thank you very much for tuning in for our episode of Secrets from the Saddle here in Chelsea, Quebec, Canada. And my name is Sylvie, and I'm so excited to be bringing this episode and this interview series back on track and into a podcast series. All right, thank you so much for coming out. And I have to be transparent. This is my entry level back into my cycling podcast or interview series called Secrets from the Saddle. So today I'm super excited to bring Ed VEAL, who is from Toronto, in for the first interview back, and you're going to see why, because we have so many good things. So Secrets from the Saddle is about all stuff cycling related, all aspects of the cycling world. And I'm just super excited to bring Ed in here. Now, before we get into Ed's interview, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background, and then I'm going to go through some rapid fire questions with him. And then we're going to dig right into some of the exciting stuff that he's been working on with the para athletes and his charity that's running this month. All right, so Ed VEAL, he's sitting in Toronto, Hamilton, and really close to the Velodrome, if you know where that is, because that's where he spends a lot of his time, I'm sure. And he allowed me to, let's say, his age. He's 44 young. Look at him. Okay, so here's some of his accolades. He is very familiar with the podium. We have the Canadian hour record, so he can touch a little bit on that. He has a 40 to 44 world hour record holder. Now this is on the track, right, Ed?
Yes, yep.
All right. And then the World Cup gold medalist on the track. And then we have 2015 bronze Pan-Am at home in Toronto on the track finisher. So he's a dad of a son who just turned 17, and he's also a coach. So if you're ever looking for him, I will put all his information at the end, but he has you can find him at realdealcycling.ca. All right, welcome, Ed. I'm so excited to have you here. And
Nice.
Are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, first. All right, where did you grow up? So this is gonna give people a little bit of an idea of where you're coming from and how you got started in cycling.
Okay, so I grew up in Toronto. My parents, I guess, Islington and 401, Rexdale, proud of that. But my parents moved there when we were 10. So then I was always York Region. So Queensville, which no one's ever heard of, little farm town, kind of north of Newmarket, maybe an hour north of Toronto. That's where I kind of grew up. And my parents actually just sold their home. It's a big deal in our family right now. The family home, they're downsizing and moving to Fonthill. So right now in the next 2 weeks, I'm helping them move. But yeah, Queensville for the majority of my life.
Oh my gosh. My dad just did the same thing, like sold the family farm, but he brought property next to me, close to me, and he's building a house.
That's beautiful. We're doing the same thing. They're coming this way. So we're now in Hamilton, and my brother's in Niagara. And so my parents are moving to Fonthill, which is down this way. So we're all kind of like migrating. Yeah, it's beautiful. Just staying close. So that's beautiful.
I know. I'm like, another place to send the kids. Grandpa's place. All right. So I guess that answers our question. Where do you live now? That's in
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Awesome. Okay. So what's your favorite thing about cycling, and how did you get into it?
Oh, wow. Okay. I've got a lot of favorite things. So I don't know if I have one favorite thing, but I can start with how I got into it. So I had a neighbor that he mountain biked. He would see me out, washing my car, cutting the lawn, and the guy would just bug me. He would just roll up in his mountain bike and say, "You got to give this a shot." And he just was really like a bit of a pest, actually. And so he saw that I was fit, and he was mountain biking. He was almost like I felt like it was a bit of a cult thing. I was like, this guy had to try and push this on me. Like, what is the deal? Why do I have to mountain bike so bad? But he was big heart and really, just knew how good it was, I guess. And so when he got me out there to a race series, I went with him on his wife's bike, and I didn't even have a helmet or any gear. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, and I actually showed up with a hockey helmet. But yeah, I never looked back. So that's kind of like how I got introduced to it. I was actually started as a mountain biker.
You know, that's funny because that's how I started road cycling too.
Really?
Yeah. Road mountain biking, mountain bike racing. Then I started training on my road bike for mountain biking. Then I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm going to stick with road cycling.
Hey, I did the exact same thing. So
Yeah.
I got on the mountain bike, and I really loved it. I started doing pretty well. I worked up from sport to expert to elite. And there was a good crew that was at this race series, and I started making some really good connections. I actually met my best friend, a lot of great people there. And my best buddy now, James, he's the one that said, I don't know if it was him that said that, but someone said, if you want to get fast on a mountain bike, you got to train on the road. But he was the one that was kind of getting sick of me beating him in the trails. And he's like, come to the road so I can spank you, so I can give it to you. And so he did. He got me a bike. We go on it ride, and he just, man, was he mean to me. He dropping me and like pushing me, and like, but immediately I loved the speed. I loved the skinny tires. I loved, the distance you could travel. So back to the favorite thing. And it's a tie. Okay, right now it's a tie. One is the therapeutic benefits of cycling. I love being alone with your thoughts. I love I don't know if it's meditation, whether you're in the forest, on the road, but that time, just being on the bike, traveling, seeing things, exploring, just feel like a kid. Like, I love that, and I find it very therapeutic. The tie is with the way you propel the bike forward. I love the force. I really do love pushing on the pedals. I love the way my body feels, and I love the mechanics, just your quads and your glutes, and you're just, I want to like snap the pedal off. I really like the idea of like pushing hard on the pedals and propelling yourself forward. It's, I can't get enough of it, even to this day.
I know, I love that too. So next one is your greatest accomplishments. Now, I did list some, but I'm sure you must have one great accomplishment in all of your, your podium experiences. Which one's like the one that was like, oh, I really wanted that, and you achieved it?
This is a great question. It's tough. That's tough. My go-to to get out of trying to narrow down like a cycling accomplishment is always Evan, my son, is my greatest accomplishment. So like that is by far number one, and it's not even close. So when I think about a gift or just being a dad, the ultimate gift, like he was a gift, and then actually the whole experience, that is by far my greatest accomplishment. So, and I think that's actually what I put on my Twitter. I think that's something I've written, like my greatest accomplishment is named Evan. So that's
oh my God. So can I ask you, where is he following in your footsteps, or is he like, where's he in like the whole thing following dad, or is he?
So this is what's interesting. So I'm a late bloomer. I didn't get into sport till late. I'm probably going to touch on that, but I mean, I really am fearful of the pressure on him to follow in my footsteps or do anything in athletics. So, and that's one thing I've been very just mindful of with him. I'm not, there's no pressure. He doesn't have to bike. He doesn't have to play sports. He doesn't have to do any of that stuff. And I've told him that, from day one. And I'll continue to tell him that. So I really, there's a culture with, different parents or people that they live so much through their kids, and they put so much on their children that maybe they missed the mark on something, or they excelled at something and they want their kids to take the next level or follow in their footsteps or take on the family business or, whatever it may be. And I'm against that completely. I want him to be his own man. I want him to find his way. I want him to, play and enjoy, and wherever he ends up, I will be happy. So that's one message I'm telling him over and over and over again. So he bikes, he does all kinds of stuff, and there's not a sport he hasn't played with. He has a flavor of the week. Every time I see him, he's doing something else, right? I seen him yesterday. He just got a skateboard. Now he's skateboarding. He has all I mean, we go to the driving range, we throw around the football, we throw around a baseball. There's not a sport that we don't do together or that he hasn't played. But as far as like making it his career or that's entirely up to him as far as his passion. And, you know, and if he decides to be an artist, or if he wants to play an instrument, or if he wants to, whatever he wants to do, you know, I want to cultivate that really freeing time where he can kind of evolve and make his path, choose his path.
Well, that's kind of nice. I'm glad to hear that he's on his bike. So you guys get to ride together yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but when he comes over here, I say to him, do you want to ride? And if he doesn't, we don't. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Yeah. It's on his, like, it's not, he knows my line I've said this so many times is that, you know, I ride enough for everyone in my family, plus. So if no one wanted to ride a bike, it's all taken care of. I ride enough for all of us combined, right? So yeah, he definitely doesn't have to ride. It's an enjoyment. If he wants to ride, we have numerous bikes. The cool thing about, he's the same size as me now. So all my clothing, my shoes, I don't even have to adjust the saddle. He just jumps on my bike. He fits it perfectly. So he's like, you know,
like, what bike should I take today, Dad?
Yeah, exactly. That's what's so cool. Yeah, it's great. So that part makes it really easy. Yeah. So
I love that you say that, because we're kind of in the same boat. Like my husband, he was heavy into hockey all through like elementary, high school, and he had an option of going the distance with it, but he chose academics, and it was the same with golf. It was like the two all the way through. And we always said that our kids would never do hockey, hands down. And I said, if they did, you're taking care of it, because I'm not going to hang out in the hockey rink. But, and our kids are 8, 10, and my daughter's 18. So they're kind of like, we're just letting them experiment with different things. I did, however, put them in a kids cycling program last summer, just so it wasn't me doing the teaching, right? Because that's kind of one of the worst things to do, is be the teacher for the sport that you love. You really do need to, and I did it for my daughter too. She learned from other coaches, and then I got to reap the benefits of going for rides with her and you know, just helping her out later on.
Yeah. Cycling is too. It's just a hub to bring people together. On some days, high performance, and I'm, you know, trying to get to the Olympics or trying to, you know, set records or whatever, right? But most of the time it's just social. I want to see my friends. I want to get together and have great conversation. I want an excuse to say, hey, do you want to meet up at X amount of time, go for a bike ride? And what do we do on the bike? We chat and connect, you know? And so that's the same thing with my son. It's like, we go to the driving range. We're not Tiger Woods. We're not trying to, you know, make the PGA. It's me and him smacking balls and talking and being outside together, you know? So
you're setting up for the future of golf.
No, not at all. I'm not. I
was like, I'm going to do that when I retire. I'm like,
who knows? Like, one, I probably will never retire. And two, golf interests me, but you know what it interests me is I would like to get out with my buddies, drive around in a motorized golf cart, have a beer in the sun, and laugh and talk and connect and just be kids. That's what I like about golf. All right. The activity part, yeah. If you're not taking a cart and you're walking around, or, you know, you're just being out, like, golf isn't necessarily so competitive that you have to get the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes and try and win. You know what I mean? If I can remove that from it, it can be a lot of fun. But the problem with me being competitive, and I am uber competitive, is that I get angry and I get frustrated, and I that's why golf is, for me right here today, is not for me. That's not my sport, because I like sports where I can get fired up and really adrenaline filled and like and do better, you know, not you know, snapping a golf club over my knee.
Yeah, I know, I get it. That's why I'm not doing it. I watch my husband do it. So you said one thing, and I know we're going to wrap around to this, but preparing for an Olympics. Now, let's go right into the para stuff, because we know Tokyo was canceled this year and it's postponed to next year.
Yep.
Now, are you preparing for that, because you're with Lowell Taylor, right?
Oh yeah.
And I know because I saw it. I saw it on there. You guys were supposed to go to Tokyo this year. Okay. But are you guys getting ready for next year?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
before
Okay.
you get into that,
Yeah.
what the hell did it feel like being told that, like, you're peaking for this year? You gotta you gotta forget about it. It's not happening. Tell me about that, because I talked to a couple other young young cyclists who are waiting to hear if they were going to go to Tokyo, and then everything was just canceled. I want to know what it felt like for you to be told that after you, like, you know, the 4 years of build up to going as a para pilot for Lowell.
Okay.
Talk about that.
Well, I mean, this is probably the most planned year I've ever had.
Oh gosh.
Everything in my calendar was detailed right down to, you know, what race. Like, I can go into my training peaks, my annual training plan, and I had it like there wasn't a spot that wasn't filled, whether it was camps here, you know, we're going to go to this event, we're, you know, I'm doing this as an able body, doing this as a pilot, and then the, you know, the lead up, you know, the whole breakdown right up to Tokyo. So to kind of like put all that effort into planning that and then wiping it off, you know, that is definitely hard, very hard. The one thing that I benefit from was that I'd already been through this. So when I was on the team pursuit squad with the national team, we were building towards trying to qualify to go to Rio. And so I'd already been through an Olympic cycle. And the problem with that was we started the program about 1.5 years too late. We didn't get the full 4 years. And so Canada, you know, with the Pan-Am Games and the Velodrome, and then the program started, you know, we were a little bit behind. And so we were a brand new country. We really climbed the ranks quickly. A lot of progress, a lot of credit to the whole team and everyone involved that we were even kind of like close. But we missed the mark. And that was kind of prepped me for this, because I really wanted to go to Rio. I was all in to go to that. And so when we were so close and didn't make it, that failure or that kind of missing the mark, even though we all together collectively could say we just didn't have enough time and we had a late start, was kind of prep for this. So when this was taken away, the next Olympic cycle, and then a little delay, I'd already been through this. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, you can think of all the different failures or different challenges you've had. And then when you come in the same kind of realm or the same, you know, I've been there. So unfortunately for some that maybe this is the first crack of something being like, you know, removed, you know, I already had that happen, you know? So the challenges right now are, there's no races. So Lowell and I are actually a very new pairing. Okay. He had a really a longtime partner. They did lots of great things together. And that's what got Lowell in this position. You know, he was in the next gen program. He was climbing the ranks. And so Lowell, one of the reasons why he switched to me was the track specificity. Okay. So my track background mixed with him being such a big guy. Okay. Lowell is bigger than I am. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we match up so well, because if you think of like, you know, riding the tandem, he's 200 pounds for sure, you know, and I get myself a little bit less than that, but you know, I'm rolling around 200 pounds. Our hashtag or our kind of a joke is 200 pounds. I mean, 400 pounds a dude. That's our, but on the tandem, we just match up a little bit better. So like, you know, just think of having a bigger body on front to, you know, for the aerodynamics, and then to manage having a, you know, another 200 pound guy. It helps to be a 200 pound guy to fight with the G-force and all that of a 200 pound guy. So I came in to work with Lowell, and right away there's something really special going on there. And so
can I ask, like, now you're his pilot for track and road and time trial? Okay, so you're his new partner for.
I'm his new partner, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's had many different over the years. He's done triathlon. Lowell is an unbelievable athlete right away. So the opportunity to work with him man, like I'm over the moon just to, these kind of like pairings just don't happen. You know, I'd put it out there, I guess, to a few people and plus the universe saying, hey, if the right opportunity came and the right visually impaired athlete came, I would commit 100% to being a pilot. Like, so when this came and Lowell messaged me, I was kind of like, is this really happening? Right. And so, you know, I didn't know he was that good in the beginning, you know, but now that we've trained together, he impresses me every time we've been out. And even when we're separate, he's in Lethbridge, Alberta, but with even the training he does and everything he manages, you want to talk about an inspirational guy. Like I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. Like this, seriously, whether we go to Tokyo or not, I'm just so thankful because this guy, he's a monster on and off the bike. He really is like something special on and off the bike. So, but what happened is that we don't have enough events to qualify. Okay. So because we're a new pairing, we were running around to try and get like the standards. Okay. So we went to Milton and, you know, got a UCI official to time us. So we got the A standard, meaning that we were kind of like a medal contender on the track. Yeah. And then we went down to Arizona and we did a time trial to meet the A standard on the road, like on a time trial. And we did that as well. So we set the course record at the Valley of the Sun and we just blew it out of the water. We had such a great time trial. And so that gave Cycling Canada, you know, a little bit of background or at least some runs on the board to say, hey, these guys, this is, but because we're so new and we haven't done a World Cup or we haven't gone to a major games or we haven't done any racing together, when everything gets kind of like wiped away and there is no racing, now we're kind of like behind, you know, because Canada has such a stacked roster of para athletes. Like we're one of the top nations, okay? And we have world champions and gold medalists. And so it's not the fact that we're not a great tandem. And there actually is another amazing tandem. Canada has another tandem that, you know, we still have to go head to head with to kind of like solidify that we're the number one tandem. Like they've already gone to the Olympics. They've already done big things. Okay. So even though on paper, I think we got them beat, sorry guys. But
who are they?
Yeah, we still got to do that. We want the opportunity to go head to head with them. And now there isn't one. Okay. So that's another challenge. That's like, you know, so yeah.
I do hear the tandem is the most competitive category of all the para categories, like in cycling.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well,
you gotta watch some of this stuff. You're
gonna have to put me onto some of those links because remember I was telling you, like I'm just getting into this too with my daughter here in Ottawa. Yeah. And that's what they tell me. And you know, I've got and I have like, you know, I have kind of numbers that we need to get to be close to being a qualifier. Can I ask you, who coaches both of you guys?
Well, so the para program has a head coach, Sebastian Travers, and then there's a para coach out on the west is Phil Abbott. Okay, so we were both coached by both of them. I guess Seb oversees everything, and then Phil coaches Lowell specifically, and then these guys have given me a bit of freedom. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so they look at my training program. They're kind of overseeing things. When I'm in a camp, I mean, I obviously do everything they ask, and you know, when we're in a strict, you know, training environment, I just, you know. But when I'm outside of that, I'm self-coached. So, I mean, I have mentors and people around me. I have a great team and everything, but you know.
Like, what do you think about this? Yes, no.
Well,
does it look good?
The other way around. I have a little bit of freedom to continue. You know, I've got myself into this level, and so I don't need to be micromanaged. But that does happen where I get a phone call from a strength coach, or I get an email, or you know, and then you know some guidance, and it's wonderful. Yeah. It's so great to be a part of a team. So,
well, that's good to know. Because I was just wondering, like, because I'm like, are you coaching yourself plus Lowell? Oh, I guess like once you get onto the team, you then are underneath them. And
so like if you're talking about you, for example, like I think if you get to a certain level and you can show, whether with a coach or on your self-coached, and you can kind of get close to those numbers or start hitting the marks, the criteria for them
Yeah.
to take notice. Once you get there, that's kind of, so you got to get to a certain level, and then, you know, I mean, I don't want to say to make it worth their while or to make it.
Oh, no, totally.
That's
Like,
what happens.
I
And
get
so,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then once you get there, they're going to look at your background and see what you need. And that's, I think, part of everyone's coaching needs are different. Okay. And so that is up to the head coach and the group, the team, to kind of go, okay, where are their weaknesses? What do they need? What can we help them with? And there is a full team. There's a nutritionist. Like, as soon as you become next gen or in the development program or high performance, I mean, yeah, there's a whole stable of experts that, you know, are right there to kind of like guide you. Okay. And so, you know, even I've been through this a long time now. Okay. So I started in the late 2013, you know, I did all the national team stuff for like almost 5 years straight, you know, where I was coached specifically by the track coach at the time. The endurance coach at the time was Ian Melvin, plus his team of coaches and that. So, you know, I've been through this up until now. So, you know, what's that, 7 years of, you know, high performance coaching. So, I mean, you can, there's always something to learn, but I'm really, I got it. You know what I mean? Like I have a system. I'm not to be chased. I don't need external motivation. Like you know,
So for everybody who's listening, I'll just give you a little background. We're going back and forth between me. So just recently, I approached Cycling Canada with a project, and then they approached me about being a liaison coach for para potentials here in the Ottawa-Outaouais region. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome, because I'm a level 3 national coach. So I've got the credentials, I guess. And and then because they had somebody here already, and I happened to know her because she went through my cycling club, Tui. So I knew her personally, and that made it even better. And then my daughter is visually impaired, and I encouraged her to register for the program. So then they came to Ottawa, they brought a tandem bike, they bought a trike. And so here we are, the three of us getting set up on these bikes. And I've never ridden a tandem before. So this happened like in September, like 4 weeks ago. And so Tui is, she's a recumbent rider. So now she has to get up on the bike. So it's different. So we're working on the stability up there, the balance, the different muscle groups. And then for my daughter and I, we're slowly, like, we still have to kind of tailor this bike to us, because it's basically, here's the bike. So the saddle and the stem and like the handlebars, they're all huge. So, and the thing is that I'm 128 pounds and my daughter's like 100 pounds. So, and we're almost the same height. So we're like the perfect match. In any case, so I'm coaching, so I'm to start coaching all of us. So that's a little bit of a background. So that's why I'm so excited about and connecting with Ed here on this whole para journey, because that's basically the kind of journey we're on, all three of us. And our qualifier race is in April in Montreal. So that's where they're going to evaluate us to see if we're we have the potential. And also, and they did tell me that I would probably not be the racer or the pilot to go the distance with my daughter. I get it. I'm almost 50. She needs somebody young and
whoa, hand up.
Oh, please ensure me that this is not true.
I respectfully disagree. This is something.
Thank you, Ed.
No. Listen, people told me I had no potential when I was early 30s. I remember I'll never forget it. It's deep inside me. It gets stoked every once in a while when I hear that. It's complete bullshit. And anybody that tells you, like, right away, just look into their soul and find out where I don't know where this stuff comes from. Okay. it's when someone puts a limiter on themselves because of their age, I'm a big proponent.
Oh, no, I'm not limiting myself.
Someone else is trying to tell you out of the gate, before you've done anything. Just want to let you know, hey, just to be clear, just so you don't get your hopes up or whatever.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna put all this
crap. I'm going to let you, something's going to escape my mouth to make somehow, no. And now,
thank you, Ed. Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Because I was like, okay. At first I'm like, ooh, it wasn't in so many words, right? But I was kind of like, well, maybe I get it, because the team that brings her in is probably not going to be the team that takes her to the Olympics. And I mean, it would be freaking fabulous if I could be that person, right? And I'm going to train like hell. Like, we're going to train like hell to get her noticed, right? And I'm like, why not? Because I know women who are 15 years older than me who are killing it, like at Worlds and things like that on, mountain bike and cross. And I'm just like, I'm going to be like those ladies. And maybe this is my training starts again now, because my last year on the race course was 2013, my last race year. So it's been a while, but the pain is still there. I can still feel it.
This is, I mean, Lowell and I've had these conversations, okay? If something were to happen to me, let's say in this Lowell continues on. He will get another pilot. He will figure it out. Someone will have to take my place. Okay. So, and the same thing with, what just reminds me of, let's say, pick a record or a time, or you do it. And then someone immediately, as you cross the line, someone says, someone will probably beat that one day. Yeah. It doesn't need to be said. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, if you want to say that, like, records are made to be broken. It's the same thing with pilots. Okay. Eventually, there is a good chance, all right? And I'm not saying that's not possible. You take your daughter to a certain level, and then everyone agrees, yeah, you know what? You did great. We got her noticed. She's on the team. But here is a so-and-so that could bring her to the next level. And it's hard. It's really hard, okay? But starting off with that, like, just get her to as far as you could possibly get her, okay? And you never know who that'll be. That's the way I would approach it. Just take her together, you go as far as you possibly can. And then, in the best interests of her and the squad and what you're representing, you have to make these hard decisions. And this happens in sport all the time. I've been a part of them, okay? Like on the team pursuit squad, okay, there was a time where I was, the number 2 guy, maybe the 3rd guy, then it was the 4th guy, then it was the 5th guy, okay? And so then every once in a while, I bump back to the 4th guy. Okay, but then I'd be the 5th guy again. And then I worked so hard just to be the 4th guy again. There's only 4 guys, okay? This was a constant battle, but my pledge to the group, okay, was I wasn't going to take a spot from a young guy, okay? Like, if I couldn't make the team, like the team, then I didn't need to be a part of it, okay? Because I wasn't trying to, like, I wanted to better things. I wanted to give, so there was some really tough days where I was still wanted to be that spot. Okay. Like, but for the better of the group. Okay. Like, and it was not like something, it still pains me, but it was like, it probably best to now, I got to a certain point to step aside and then watch the program flourish. Okay. There's so many days since those days where I'm like, oh, I could ride with them. I think it today. Okay. Like, that's the thing. That's a part of being a high performance athlete. Like, I would love to get dressed up, go in and do a couple reps with the guys. I miss it that much. Okay. But me being a part of that and isn't for the greater good of Cycling Canada and the men's endurance squad. Okay. It's not. Okay. So I'm still so hungry. I still have so much fire. I still have so much to prove.
There's so many things you could still do.
And that's
the whole Masters championships you can go for.
No, Masters. Hold on. So you did it again there. No.
Okay. Well,
professional bike racer. My age is irrelevant.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, because that's out there too, right? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I could go and I could train for something like that.
Yeah.
But I recognize that at some point, because she's 18, she has the things that, and that's the nice thing about it, that she's young. She has many good training years for her to develop as a top athlete. But, and that's where, you know, I'll be handing her off to somebody else, but I'm going to freaking work as hard as I can to get her as far as I together. And
age is irrelevant.
And then I'll just pick up somebody else and I'll bring them up.
When they say the world champion, they don't say their age. That's it. They're the world champion. When you're the Olympic gold medalist, age is irrelevant. And so if you're competing in age group stuff, that's wonderful. If you're looking to be the best 40 to 44-year-old or the 19 to whatever, like that's cool. But I'm still racing at the pro level. And the only reason my age comes up is because I'm the oldest guy there. Okay. And so, and I'm cool with that. I am cool with that, and I'm going to fight it as long as I can. So the cool thing about the tandem with Lowell is it's high performance, and we're going to the Paralympics, and the both of us, it does not matter what our age is. It doesn't matter what our combined age is. If you can medal for Canada or you can represent Canada at the highest level, age is not, and that's the thing. Now, if another pilot were to come along that could outdo what I can do with Lowell, and Lowell, you know, this is going to be on video, but as something I've said to him as well, is that you know, someone comes along can do a better job than I will step aside. That's the same pledge I made to the team pursuit squad. That's the same pledge I make to Lowell. I'm not, I'm here to give it my all, and my all is going to be, you know, competing against the best in the world's all, you know, and that's what we need to factor in. Okay. So it's like, can Ed get Lowell, this pairing, can we go medal at a major games? Okay. And if Joe X Rider can come along and has a better opportunity to get Lowell to those medals, I'd be like, hasta la vista, love ya. It's been a slice.
Next. And you know, the nice thing is, as when I was talking that, you know, Canada is in a big phase of recruiting new next gen athletes. So somebody's going to need you. Might not be Lowell at some point, but you'll be ready for the next one coming up. And that's a nice thing, because but they're, you know, like para athletes are of all ages, right?
Yeah, 18, of course.
16 to 60. So.
I'm too much. I do volunteer with the OCA, and I do take riders around, and I ride. That's separate. So it's completely separate to be like a mentor and a coach and someone to kind of take people out and, you know, and this is high performance. And so I have two sides. One is a cutthroat, savage assassin that is wired for, you know, and the other one is this, you know, fun-loving, playful, good guy that, you know, just takes people around to tour and let them experience things, try new things. And so when I went to Lowell, or what I was looking for in a partner was very, it was all about giving our all to represent Canada at the highest level. It's not fun. It's not play. It's, you know, and so, but then on the other side, yes, of course, I'll be around for a while. I love sharing, you know, just like this conversation, or whatever, like anybody that's getting into the sport, giving them tips or how to do it. The problem is I am in this particular thing. I can't really turn it off. I have a real, you know, so when we're competing, I'm full gas. And so the person one on the bike, and you need to line up. That's why the chemistry has to be so dialed, okay? Because if the other person, for even 1 minute, a millisecond, do I think they're not putting the same effort as me, you know, I'm pulling over and I'm out, you know what I mean? So like they have to be, you know, that's the cool thing about Lowell and I. We're really, he might even want it more than me. He's so hungry and so into this that you know, I'm right where I want to be with the right guy.
Yeah, well, you got to keep the same fuel. Like you have to have the same passion since you're going to the Olympics. Oh my gosh, right?
Tournament, yeah. We'll see. It's that part. Now, the Cycling Canada put out the top 7, and we're not on it. Okay, so I have many people like the para rankings, and we're not even listening. Okay, so think of that, like the optics of that, like everyone that you know knows that we're path and that they're like, oh, are you not going now? And so I know. So Lowell and I have to do something like exceptional.
Right.
Yeah. So that makes it this tiny little window, because everyone else on that list is such a rock star. Canada is so deep on their para side. So right away, I messaged Lowell the second that went out, or the second we were told, and said, buddy, like, we got this, we're doing this. And the thing is, he said the same thing. So even though our chance is minute, but I just knew I was with the right guy, because he said, well, let's make sure let's take our chance. Let's go for this.
Oh, for sure. You're not out of the running at all. All right, so we're going to be all watching that, and I'll be particularly interested in watching you guys. So let's move on to the charity that you've got going on right now. So at first, okay, so this is a charity to raise money for just a second here. I wrote it somewhere. MS. And what are the other charities that the money's going for?
Okay, so the big one is Forest City Velodrome. So there's a...
Oh, it is for Forest City. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've been in there.
That's okay. So it's all good.
They better still be around.
What's that?
I said they better still be around.
Well, that's the problem. That's why this is all about. Like this is this.
I didn't see that anywhere on
nonprofit volunteer. The model. It's not a business, and so they struggle financially. And like over the years, there's been a lot of great people that have come out of the woodwork to make this happen. Whether it's different events or just passionate people that say, but it's a fundraising model, and it really, that's the only way it's going to stick around. So I mean, here we are again. But the battle of trying to get people to chip in to keep this around, that's worth fighting for. And so this is just this was a stunt. Or like pretty much, that's what I call it. This was a stunt to get attention for a cause that I feel very passionate about, and I want everyone else to feel passionate about. There's only so many of these little cycling, hubs that produce so much good. And people come out of there, and and children and youth programs and all kinds of different clubs enjoy this facility. They get to train indoors. The coach gets to sit on the infield, teach all these different skills and drills. They invite their friends. All the parents are watching. Like it's in hockey we have them everywhere. With these arenas. We have all the parents sitting there with the Tim Hortons with the kids out on. It's
a great place.
It is a great place.
I mean, I've taken groups up there a couple years in a row. I've done like probably 3 level 1 track courses in there, because every time you go in there, and I only go I've only gone like once every year. I've got to redo it, and that's fine because and I always appreciate that, the small atmosphere of the Forest City. And when Milton was built, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope the Forest City doesn't close. I mean, even though it's totally different, like it's so much smaller, right?
Yeah, but this is the thing. They're fighters, and that's the cool thing. Is like a lot of people thought it was going to close right away when Milton opened. And don't get me wrong, I love Milton too. I lived in Milton.
Well, it's different, right?
It's fantastic. We have a world-class track right here in Ontario, in Milton. I'm 40 minutes away. Like I couldn't. It's incredible. Like I love it. So it's not one or the other. This is the best part. Like they're not competing. They're doing the same thing. We need more of these. And this is another perspective to say, like, we can't lose any of them. Okay, so Milton comes, it should inspire other people to open other velodromes. Okay, this is the idea. We need all these little feeder systems to feed the big one. It's kind of like the Scotiabank Place or the Air Canada Center. Okay, all these little... What? Sorry?
Is that not what Forest City is? Like, you're doing all the kids programs there because it's like affordable to go there over the bigger velodrome, and that's where they learn, and then they progress up to the bigger one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just more accessible. Track time is not at a premium, and coaches and different clubs and that can get in there. It's a little more inclusive. It's also very closed and tight and just more intimate. Okay. And the idea is if people get riding there and go elsewhere, that's probably the hardest track to ride. So if you can ride at Forest City, everything else is a breeze. So if you learn on that track, oh, give me a break. Anywhere else you go will be like, whoa, this is so, but we need more of them. We need more and not less.
Yeah.
If we're going to lose this one, that's why I'll ride for 3 weeks, 300 kilometers a day.
Yes.
Keep this around.
You did that already.
Yeah.
You did that in September, right?
Well, I just finished. Yeah, I finished October 1st. That was my last ride, was October 1st.
How did you feel riding a BMX? I have to ask you.
I rode bike on a BMX track. I rode a BMX track. So.
Oh, I was like, Whoa, going for a road bike to a BMX.
Yeah.
To see how your legs felt after that. But so you just finished your own personal, I guess, events for this charity. So you did 3 weeks, 21 days, 6,300 kilometers traveled, 180 hours on gravel road, mountain bike track, hand cycle, recumbent. That must have been comfortable. And BMX track.
You got it. And BMX track.
And now you're going into engaging and encouraging teams to raise money for.
Yeah. So the whole thing was, you know, the distance covered. I mean, that just riding 300 kilometers a day. Anybody who's ridden 300 kilometers, okay, you know, how they felt the next day. Okay. So, you know, they feel fantastic. They've done this big epic ride. And then the following day they're laid out, or they don't ride, or they need some recovery, or you take the week off, or, you know, whatever. Right. So to do it the second day, you know, not that impressive. Do the third day. Maybe people start going like, what, you know, to do it 3 weeks in a row. That was the idea. It was like, in that 3 weeks, more people be going like, Ed's crazy, or what, this is crazy, or how is he doing this, or
what's
you know,
he doing?
That was the point. Okay. It was kind of just the repeatable craziness day after day after day. And as it added up, more eyeballs and more people be like chiming in to go like, okay, one, how is he doing this? And two, why is he doing this? And so how is, you know, suffering, like just trying to switch it up on different bikes and variety and whatever, anything to keep moving. Okay. The why was these three causes, and you know, the Forest City Velodrome was number one, MS Society, you know, awesome cause. And then the Real Hero Project, which is a new thing that we're working on, where we want to recognize some unsung heroes in our community that do unbelievable things or battling awesome things. And so there's no shortage of stories and people. And so my girlfriend is a spec ed teacher. She comes home with all kinds of challenges or different things that she just sees and is you know, helping with. And so one of the whole charity thing came about way back when, you know, maybe a year and a half ago, when this young kid in her class, he ate his glasses. He has this thing where he chews things, and he ate them. He chewed up his glasses, and his parents couldn't afford new glasses. And so when she told me that, I was really distraught, and I just thought, this is terrible. And so I got on the bike the following day on the trainer, and I just got on Instagram, and I said, I'm going to ride all day until I get enough pledges or donations to pay for this kid's glasses. And that was, and when at the end of the day, I think we got $1,800 came in. So not only did we pay for the glasses, we sent a bunch of kids to camp, and then we did some money to a lunch program for all the needy kids, you know, that, you know, to pay for their lunches.
Cool. So did you just set, okay, how did you get the money? Did you set up like a GoFundMe, or
No.
did it through something else, or just like direct deposit, or how did you do that?
No, they just e-transferred me. That it was
Oh,
like,
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. I can't keep doing that. That's not the way to do it. Okay. So, but in a short term kind of quick thing, you know, and I think back to, you know, just character and morals, and, you know, like if anyone was looking for receipts or tax refund, there was not the one to be had.
Right.
Worried about the money spent. We spent the money that came in plus more out of my pocket. So, I mean, it wasn't about, you know, and that's the same thing with this. Like, you know, I'm sure there's someone out there wondering why I'm doing this. And I can tell you story after story about what cycling's done for me. That story to me is worth more than any sort of monetary gain that I could get from it. Like helping somebody. The bike has helped me like immensely. Like, it's not, I can't even explain what the bike has done for me. So now it's my turn to give back to this tool, you know, because that's what it is. And so, I mean, so yeah, so now there's the idea is we're going to start, you know, we're with some, like FCV isn't a charity. Okay. So there's no tax receipt if you donate to FCV. Okay.
Right.
MS is though. Okay. Registered charity. If someone's looking for a tax receipt, you know, that's straight up. And same thing, the Real Hero Project will be a foundation, and we're going to build that. So it's you know, there's big things to come with that.
Okay. Now I get FCV, because I was looking at your website. I'm like, what exactly is that?
Forest.
You should maybe write it out, because I was like, and then I'm like, MS, okay, I get that. Real Healers, okay. So yeah, That's awesome. And now, okay, so to get more information, we'll put all the links below, but it's realdealcycling.ca/ride for real and the number 4.
Realdealracing.ca.
Sorry, what did I say? Real
Yeah.
Deal Racing.
Yeah.
Real Deal Racing. Don't worry, it'll be in the description.
Okay.
I'll get it right there. So now you're running this until October 31st.
Yes.
And your goal amount is what?
Well, we want to raise $100,000. So
okay. And how close are you?
Well, we are not close. We are at almost 13,000. So we got a ways to go. And the idea is to, just like this video and the goodness of your heart to share this and tell people, is that many people think that if they don't frequent that track, I don't ride the track. I'm not a track rider. I don't go to London. I think they need to think bigger than this. Like there's, we're a fringe sport. We have very small fields, very small, everything's small. The infrastructure's small. People are fighting for, you think of when you get buzzed by a car, we need more cyclists. We need more people riding bikes. We need more of these facilities. Okay. So I think everyone looks after their own little thing and wonders why aren't there more bikers? And it's like this place pumps out bikers. And if it were to go, I mean, this is a problem. Okay. So by donating $10, I mean, it's not fixing it, but I got to say, like, it's stopping a loss. All right. So I know there's many people out there working really hard to grow the sport, and I commend you, and I want to be right there beside you fighting for it. And this is, I think, as a group, we need to come together, and people that can donate, please. Okay. If you can't, we're not asking for much. It's $10, but if this could go Canada wide, or at least province wide, I think there's enough of us out there. I think there's 10 or 15,000 OCA members. Okay. If everyone donated $10, this wouldn't be a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of outreach that we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, I know I saw it on the, I think it was Canadian
Cyclist.
Yeah.
Rob and Tracy Jones are Canadian cyclists. Yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah,
they are. They are really nice.
They are.
Love working with them so far. This has only been a month.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic.
But I'm really, really keen to give it everything, right? Like, to impress them. So what can we do now? Okay, so I'll add all the stuff and all the links for people to find you. Is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up?
No, I enjoy this interview. I think, you got a great story. You got a great energy. I think where you're going with your daughter and then helping out with para stuff, we need more people like you. So if there was a message, this isn't, you're not, we need to, cultivate this culture that everyone kind of supports it and gives back. Okay. Yeah. And it's going to take all of us to make this happen. All right. So if there's a message, it's like, I think we can all get very cynical and wonder why this isn't like this. And, why aren't these people doing that? And I think you really should look back at yourself and go, okay, what am I doing to better things for our sport or the experience or whatever? And so if we all kind of like just chip in, and so some people can chip in with $10, some people can chip in with an hour of their time, some people can do an interview or talk to their viewers. So my message right now is like, if you give a shit and you say you give a shit and you come up, then you like to ride bikes. Yeah. Then I think you should donate. Yeah. Let's do your part. Do your part. Because do your job. I know that in this region, like, cycling exploded. I don't know what it was like in Hamilton, but everything, like, so many new people on bikes this year. Like, as soon as they were confined to the house, everybody went out and bought a bike. Yep. Like, so many, and there's so many new cyclists. And like I said, nobody, I would say all new cyclists don't know the background and are, I guess there's an education for us to get out there and, just share everything that's been happening in the last, 5 decades.
of cycling and, you know, what's behind it, and, you know, and giving out and skills, and, you know, where to find things and things like that. But
what if this boom, this bicycle boom, translates into a whole new culture, a whole new group of people that the problem is that there, you know, there are many people that bike, but do they do anything for the sport? And so we do need new eyeballs. We need new people. We need new passion, because the old guard has let us down. Okay. And so that's one thing I feel like I can name on, you know, there's, you know, for the thousands of encountered of people that bike, you know, how many people actually run a club or run an event or, you know, do something for the community or give back. Okay. And it's a handful, and it's always the same passionate people, and they get burnt out. Okay. So that COVID and this influx of new people buying these, you know, getting their kids on bikes and then them getting a bike. And like, you're right. Like there's not a kind of like a low end distributor that isn't sold out. Okay. And that's how it starts. They start with an entry level. They get hooked, they buy the next level bike, then they're looking for a club or a group, and then boom, they're, you know, and then maybe they're lifetime cyclists. And I think that helps cycling infrastructure, like the roadways and the bike lanes. It also helps when someone grows up with cycling, they don't buzz, you know, they don't drive and scare people or hit people. Cyclists generally ride pretty cautiously around cyclists. And so the only way I know to combat this is to get more people riding. Okay. So this is all going to be good. So if there is a takeaway from COVID and, like, you know, some of the stuff to get together with your family and slowing down and, you know, your bubble, like this is one good thing that could be. Now we're not going to realize this right away. Okay. This is not next year. This is going to be a generational thing that maybe, you know, maybe it's 10 years and we're going to see those kids that were 5 getting that brand new bike today that are 15 and now ride for life. Okay. But I'm open to a new approach, and maybe one of those young kids can be one of the leaders of the sport, you know, because we need that. And that's why I'm thankful for this call. We need you. We need people like you. We need someone that's going to, like, you know, take it and run with this and then bring a whole bunch of people with them. Yeah. You know, you can do this for life. And that's why I'm another big fan, you know, and that's the cool thing about people starting late. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you had to play hockey your whole life, or you had to play a, you know, racket sport your whole life to be good at it at 50. Nope. And it's a beautiful thing. So whether you're coming from an injury or you have a disability or some sort of like challenge, man, there's no time than now to get on a bike. Okay. And so that's back again to tie into the guy that got me early on a mountain bike, driving me crazy. I become him.
How old were you?
I was 27.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I was thinking like you were like 17 years old. Oh, you're 27. That is, sorry, that is, no, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I was like 30. I was 30, 29 maybe, 30. Yeah. So I, like, when I go and teach, people are like, so how long you been on a bike? I'm like, I don't know, since I was 32 or something. You know, I didn't grow up. I grew up on, like, you know, a banana seat bike, right? Like, like
me
kids.
Too. Yeah, me too. But once I got a license, the bike went away. And so that's the thing. I never went back to the bike. I didn't need a bike. I had a car, and I got my license early. You know, I was driving around 17. I had a vehicle. Like, that was it. And so from 17 till 27, there's 10 years of no bike. I didn't ride a bike. And then I dabbled for a bit. Then I got in a mountain bike. I didn't get on a road bike till I was 30. Okay. But the thing that I want to tell most people, and this is what I speak to when I speak engagements, a lot of times is about ageism. I didn't make the national team. I didn't represent Canada and make the national team till I was 37 years old. Okay. And I'm still a national team member right now at 44. Okay. So for anybody out there that thinks that they can't do it, like, I just, and then I get it's, oh, but that's you. And I'm just like, oh, come on, like, give me a break. The idea is belief. Okay? You have to believe. And so if you stare at your birth certificate and right away see a date that tells you, like, oh, I can't do it, or it's too late, or it's passed me by, I want to come through the screen and shake the living crap out of you. Okay. And I say the same thing all the time about, like, if I was a caveman, I would not be the guy scratching. I wouldn't know my age. It's not like every year go by and I make another scratch and then add up, oh, I got 44 scratches. I must be 44 now. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know. Right. And so that the idea that it keeps coming up, man, it drives me bananas. So that's the kind of talk, you know, when, you know, when I talk to a group and we say like, okay, who can do the most push-ups? Okay. What does it matter? Like, and then tell me where your age is involved. Let's say you're at a school or you're at a business.
Yeah.
Who can do the longest plank? What does it matter? Like, where does age come involved when you say, oh, I planked for 3 minutes? It's not. And so a lot of the things that you do on a daily basis outside of cycling have nothing to do with age. You write a great book, author, you paint a painting. What does age have to do with any of that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, age might be, you know, when something goes bad, you know, or gets moldy, or age is like, you know, a fine wine. Okay? But for the most
you can still scrape it off and keep going.
yeah, okay. But when does age, of all the things that we aspire to be and do, you know, and so for some reason in sport, and when I say for some reason, it's usually the people that are not part of it. They're not doing it. Okay. And they have an opinion on something they know nothing about.
Yeah.
And that's the part that drives me bananas. So I'm here right in the day, right in the now, competing at the highest level at 44 years of age. And if anybody wants to, you know, question or have an opinion, people have been saying this for now 7-8 years that, you know, oh, that's going to end, or that's going to, and I'm here saying like, I'm not going anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
So,
I'm here to the bitter end.
wow.
So, well, with that, I loved everything. So we're going to
we got to wrap it up because we could talk forever, right? And I know you have things to do, and I've got to get going. But I just want to say thank you so much. And we're all going to be watching you guys get ready for next year. And we know you're going to be on the team. We know it. We know. We have no, I mean, I know it. You might even see me there. No, just kidding. Now, wouldn't that be funny?
I might be there as a coach.
I don't want to be the person putting the limiter on. So yes, I would love
I know. Hey, I'm not. I'm just going to do my damn hardest. So with that, thank you so much, Ed. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And please make sure you go and donate your $10 minimum to the charity to keep a great cycling facility open, because odds are you'll get there. Maybe your kids will get there if they're in one of my programs in this region of Ottawa, Hull, and also in the greater GTA. It's a great place for a lot of cycling programs. So thank you guys. So Sylvie Daou and Ed Veal, we are going to see you later. Take care. Bye. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to check out my 16-week indoor road cycling program, either on location or online, where you're going to learn all the tips and tricks about becoming a most efficient road cycling and at changing the gears, knowing when to gear, implementing the 4 stages of your pedal strokes after I'm done coaching you. So take care. Take a look, and if you're not into the 16-week, then I have a 4-week cycling skills intensive where you're going to learn the skills and you can take those and apply to Swift. So how about that? Check them out. Bye.